This week is another tip for a very fruitful celebration of Advent, and that comes down to one thing that Catholics are all across the board on, and basically it's make a good confession. So maybe it's been a while since you've been to confession. Maybe it's something that occasionally you think, well, maybe I should do this, but I'll do it later. And in order for Advent to be the season of penance and transformation that God intends it to be, intrinsic to that is making a good confession. So we have a number of good guides here at St. Francis on how to make a good confession. A big part of making a good confession is being prepared to make a good confession, to begin by praying that God will show you where you are in need of his healing grace, and then usually through a pretty long list of prompting questions to identify those areas that you need to bring to confession itself. And then to go to confession, to honestly state what your sins are. And one thing I want to caution people about, and one thing people seem to be very tempted by, is to want to try and tell the story. A lot of times people come to confession and they can say, I'm guilty of this sin, but let me tell you what happened. And I just want to cut them off right there. It's like, I can understand why people would want to try to explain what happened. It's kind of a way of people deal with the stress and the shame of the sin in their lives. And what's appropriate to making a good confession is just the sin itself. If you would like to come and talk to your priest about a particular question or about a particular event in your life, then the right way to approach that would be to make a separate appointment. And you can come in and we can certainly talk more about what's going on in your life beyond just your sins. But for the purpose of a good confession, stay focused on your sins and be ready to receive a penance that is specifically designed to build up the virtues that oppose the sins that you are called to confess. And having accomplished or reestablished a state of grace in your life will inevitably lead to a far more fruitful celebration of Advent and prepare you for a beautiful celebration of the great season of Christmas. In this and all things, remember, God is who he says he is, you are who he says you are, and live the life that he made you to live.